During the 1900s, there is nearly 2 million children working as workers, and that is about 6% of American labor force. Children facing bad working conditions, injury, and death is often beside them. During the Progressive Era, child workers had an incredible hard time with their work. You might say even now, there are still lots of child workers. So what makes the child worker in the Progressive Era so special? And to what extent does the modern legal child worker have more rights and better working conditions than a child worker during the Progressive Era? First, no age limit. In the modern society, the law protects child workers from limiting their working age. In America, child worker has to be above 14 and below 16. That is because the body of those children is already grown and be able to handle the heavy jobs. But during the Progressive Era, there's no law to protect small children to go to work. Some children start working when they are 5 years old. Those children sometimes do dangerous jobs. And some of them are doing the rough work that might affect their body and their growth, such as carrying heavy stuff, working in the coal mine. And sometimes children fake their age. They might claim they are 12, even they are only 8 years old, just in order to get a better job and better wage. Second, long working hours. We all know that sleeping is important to our body, and it is even more important for children because it controls how they grow. The law in the United States now stipulates child can only work for 8 hours a day, which makes child workers have plenty of time to sleep and have fun. On the other hand, the child worker during the Progressive Era doesn't have a law to protect them from working too long. These children often work 12 hours a day. Imagine that. You are in a coal mine, breathing the air full of coal ash. No sunlight, and you have to sit there for 12 hours. And that is just terrible. Next, no compulsory education for kids. In the modern world, we have compulsory education, force the students to go to school, learn knowledge, and make students have more chance to become professional. To go to school, students contact different kind of subjects and fighting their own interests. We give a chance to poor people to educate like others and somehow break away from their poverty. But during the Progressive Era, there's no compulsory education to force people to go to school. Although some public schools were already formed, but lots of families don't have the knowledge to send their kids to go to learn. There's only around 10% teenagers going to secondary school during the Progressive Era. In this case, it destroyed the creativity of kids and the chance to change their situation. The poor people keep poor over generations, and the kids have no choice but go to work. It is hard for us to imagine how tough the situation these children are facing during the Progressive Era. Here now, sitting in classroom complaining how bad teachers are. But have you ever thought about, if you are born 100 years ago, you might now work in the coal mine with no law protection, and you don't even have a right to go to school. Thankfully, the National Child Labor Committee and Louis Wilkins' hand, recording the hardship of these children and taking action to improve the law, so that today, child labor has more protection and freedom. Thank you.